I'm Steve, and this is CC Garage. Welcome back. Well, today's project is going to be outside. So the C10 has this issue that it'll start up fine when it's cold. I can run it, shut it off, come back. Don't want to start. It just cranks. So I've come to the conclusion, I think, by my, 5 minutes of internet research, that the carburetor is getting too hot. So I bought a spacer. We're going to see if this helps. Like I said, old school. We're working outside in the gravel, not in my overly crowded garage. So we're going to go ahead, start by removing the air cleaner and stubbing my toe on the bumper. That's easy enough. I'm not going to remove anything. I am literally going to take the nuts off. I can get to that one, I think. Take the nuts off, lift carb, and slap this bad boy on. So it says that the one that has the 4 holes is good for lower to mid RPM because it gives the air-fuel mixture more velocity. It says the wide open one is high RPM range. We don't really run this high RPMs. When I take off, I get on it. I don't really go fast with it. I don't really need the high RPMs. Another thing I want to figure out is if there's a way I can adjust my shift points, because right now the first to second gear shift is good. The second to third gear shift is really weak. Kind of seems like a quick shift. I don't like it. I'm going to try to figure out something to do with that, but my plan is, so the rule for classic or historical plates, which this has been that you can drive to and from car shows and parades and car events. Well, that's fine and dandy, but I want to drive this truck. About a month ago, Michigan passed new rules that historical plates, so to and from car shows, blah, 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 same as it was before. But now, from Memorial Day to Labor Day, I can use this as an everyday driver. It is open driving for the summer, which is awesome because I can keep my cheap insurance, my cheap plates on it. I mean, my historical plates are good for 10 years and it cost me $30. Can you complain about that? Well, before you could, because you couldn't drive, but I got all summer I can drive. So let's get into this. I'm going to go get a wrench, or not a wrench, I'm lazy. I'll get a ratchet or a ratchet wrench, pull that carb off, get the old gasket off, put a new gasket on, new studs, and about the only thing I got done for the video so far is the intro. Well, garage sale weekend's over, got all the stuff moved out of the way, so the truck fits back in the garage. It's kind of cold out now, but we're going to go ahead and knock out the spacer real quick. I got to go grab some tools, and let's get to it. Since it's going to be kind of a short video, try to make it professional. We got our lights, we got our tripod, you can kind of see right here. So let me go get our tools that we need. I already know we need a 1/2 inch, so let's go grab that. So got our Harbor Freight set. Let's see, deep well, and then wrong door. Let's see, where is our shorty 1/2 inch? 1/16 half. So that should be all we need. Can't wait till all this garage stuff's gone. Right, Parker? Right? You gonna help me clean? Maybe later. Anybody need some baby clothes? So we're gonna start by removing our air cleaner. Just a T-screw on the setup that we got. The whole thing just lifts off. Get that out of the way. Like I said, I'm going to try to not mess with any of the lines. I'm just going to go ahead and hopefully... Oh, thought I lost my socket. Might need an extension. Okay, so I think this front corner right here, before I actually had to have the fuel line off, which I hope that's not the case. Of course, everything's in the way. Vacuum lines, throttle linkage. I mean, at least there's plenty of space to work on everything. Being how it's older, there's no fender liners or nothing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an adjustable. I'm going to loosen up the banjo bolt right here on the front, pull this fuel line off, and I will be able to get right to that bolt. So, I'll be right back. It's probably my favorite adjustable, made by Cobalt. Got this release button, so sometimes it's a pain in the butt, other times it's not. Really good for those one-handed jobs. My favorite part is getting gas all over my hands. I hate the smell of gas. I don't even have to pull this line off. Everything's loose enough for a couple little drips here. Isn't going to hurt anything. So it would have probably been a little bit more comfortable if I would have aired the truck up. I'm laid out right now. And I'm pretty much having to hold myself up against it with my knees. Should be everything. I should be able to just lift it right up. Actually, our throttle linkage, I'm going to pull that off too. I don't have the little pin that holds the thing on, so I used a paper clip. If you guys watched one of my videos from way back, because it's been a while, but I haven't had an issue with it, so I'm not going to fix it. So the spacer comes with new gaskets, so it is time to replace these ones. So this is made by Spectre, picked it up at O'Reilly's, like 40 bucks. It was sitting there for a while because I could wipe the dust off of it. So let's open it up. Comes with some new hardware. Mine might be long enough. This is only a 1-inch spacer. If I can use the stuff that's on there, I'm going to use the stuff that's on there. You have your 2 gaskets. These actually have perforated lines in the middle, so you can actually just break this right out. This for your gives it higher velocity, so that way you get better performance, lower RPM. That's what we're going to stick with. They just slap a new gasket in there. And then our top gasket. top. And realize that we should have used the hardware. So pull this back off, grab our vice grips, and pull the old studs out. So with our vice grips, I still have the spacer on there. Go ahead. Okay, that's not even on there very tight. I guess that's a win for me. On these studs, we're going to put the small coarse threaded side into the actual intake. So if you don't want to mess up or don't want to take the chance of messing up your threads, screwing in a bolt like that, what you can do, you take two nuts, you tighten them together, and then that will actually be like a lock nut, and then you just turn that nut in. But the thing with studs is, with that bottom being in there, when you tighten down the top, that stud's not going to loosen back up. You definitely don't want to strip out your intake manifold because that's a little more expensive than a carb spacer. Watch out what you're setting your tools on because I'm literally resting on the alternator right now. You don't want to touch this to the positive and anything else because it could be a bad day. So we'll put our top gasket back on. A nice shiny hardware that doesn't look like it belongs on the truck. I don't know if I like these washers. I use the same washers I took off. They're just bigger. Bigger's better, right? And then don't forget your spring for your throttle pedal. And that is that. So this oil, oh yeah, that's not that. So have to put our throttle linkage back on. And go ahead and put your fuel line back where it's supposed to be. Tighten up the banjo bolt. Having an air filter on it. But living on a dirt road is better than nothing. So go ahead, find the hole. There it is. Throw our T-nut back on until we decide what we are going to do. So we're going to go ahead, jump inside, fire up the truck. Like my cute little camera setup. Light tripod. So let's see how she's actually wanting to run. I mean, probably can't really notice a difference unless maybe it's warm. Where can I set you guys? We'll fold up the center console and lean you up against the air filter. Make sure it's in neutral because there's no safeties on this truck. My kid's playing it all the time. Come on. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but my choke is like stuck. So we're gonna go back and look at that. Since it is a K&N filter, I'm just gonna buy the cleaner kit for it. But spacer is all done. Next issue, the hood hits. This whole center right here just bowed up because of a spacer.
Now you need a cowl hood.
You want to hold my phone for a second, Mr. Camera Guy, for like 30 seconds? So, easiest fix since I don't have time, you just take off the nut. It's not like anything can go anywhere. I think it's still hit. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. So if you guys stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. Really helps build the channel. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Well, don't forget to drop a comment. So, I'll see you guys on the next video.